welcome to your November week 2 reading. This reading is going to be good for the week of November 8th, which is a Monday, to November 14th, which is a Sunday. You guys know these readings are actually pretty timeless, so it actually doesn't matter when you're accessing it. As long as it resonates, then it contains something for you. It's also signless, so it applies again to anybody. As long as it resonates, it's for you. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you are more than welcome to reach out. Or if you'd like to have a live energy healing session via Zoom, that's always fun. So just head over to my Etsy page, okay? All right, so let's jump right in. For the week of for the second week of November, November 8th to November 14th, it looks like our guides are kind of secretly laying the groundwork. So you see how I was talking to you, but I was laying the cards. They were doing that, obviously, but they were laying the groundwork. Something is being laid ahead of time for you. And then when it's done, it's going to be like this, just like this. They're going to turn it over and you're going to have options. So it's kind of like you could be doing this, 1 minute and 11 seconds, or you could be doing this. Now, you're probably like, well, what does that even mean? That's the energy dynamic. So basically, a bed, if you'd like to say, or a table is being made for you. So you're going to have some things being orchestrated right now. It could be in any area of your life, but eventually you're going to be given a choice. You can't just roll up and be like, I want this. No, Spirit's going to be like, you can have this or this or this. What do you want? It's one of those things. I do feel, though, that one of those paths is going to be the path of least resistance. It's going to be the one where you, thank you. It's going to be the one where they said you deter yourself. So, oh Lord, here we go. This is prime time November. Just as I said that, I said 2 minutes and 2 seconds for week 2 of November. Remember, the primary theme for November as a whole, if you haven't checked out the monthly reading yet, is choice. You're going to be given a lot of emotional triggers, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Things are going to be coming up a lot for you this November, and it's going to be your choice whether you choose to continue down that path and give in to those triggers and give in to temptation and keep beating up on yourself and keep believing the story of your conditioning, or whether you're going to turn to the light and be like, excuse me, that was so yesterday. Yeah, I know it was probably literally yesterday, but all I know is right now is a brand new moment, present moment. So your challenge and your task is to show the universe, to show your higher self, you mean business, buddy. And you would mean business if you really drew that line in the sand, like, look. As Kanye said, I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had the best album, right? We're not gonna do it like Kanye did. I mean, that was a bit much. But the whole point is, like, you have to choose. It's your choice. And so here it is. Spirit's like, zzz. They literally. And the whole point is 3 minutes, 33 seconds. You've got to choose. Do I want to just let go? Do I want to, do I really want to do this from an inner level? Or am I going to kind of hold on to some of these things? There's the Dark Angel card to give you the challenge. You see how the two here, it's 2 different paths. I'm getting that a lot of you are aspiring to this one, though. Oh, there it is. Spiritual service. Get it? You know, that's my forte. Yes, so yeah, this is the path. That's where that's leading. The intentions are true and pure, and you're heading there. You don't have to be the perfect person. You don't have to be where it is that you see yourself being. All you need is a little bit of willingness. But willingness, they say, includes action steps. You know, you're willing yourself to go in a general direction, and you take a little step, and you take another step, and sure, you fall off here, but you get back on the path. And that's how this works. They're saying it's not going to be an easy path, but nothing on earth is technically an easy path. So they're like, if you're going to take a path that's going to be a little rough, you might as well take the path that's going to get you there. 4 minutes, 44 seconds, okay? Clearly, they're in alignment with us. I just picked this deck up. I don't know what's this. What is this? an invitation to connect. Just as I said, they're with us. They're with us every step of the way, regardless of which path we're on. Interestingly, invitation to connect is over here. So they're showing you that if you choose the path of resistance, which seems a little bit like, yeah, you know what, I know I need to let this go, but I'm just going to hold on for one more week. I know I need to quit this, but I'm just going to, dabble a little bit more. Whatever it is that you're doing, Spirit is saying they're seeing, and they're with you. They're going to be with you no matter what. And what happens is you just delay yourself. That's all it is. So you see the invitation to connect is now boop in the back of this deck, and here you are kind of in that in-between world. Now, what is this card? Feels like God. Divine masculine. Now, doesn't mean God's a masculine, right? Doesn't mean God's a feminine. Doesn't mean anything. But this card is showing up to represent the energies of God or spirit or source energy or your higher self or whatever word you need to take you there, right? This is there. And it feels like, it kind of wants to come over here. Let's talk about that, because spirit is spirit. Oh, okay, spirit, they are channeling. I was gonna say, because people are usually like, yeah, but God's with you everywhere, and even in that. And yes, that's true. But just like they say, godliness is next to cleanliness. If you've never heard of that, that basically means like, hey, if you clean your house, spirit can really come through. Come through, spirit. Come through, spirit. Hands raised, right? And that's kind of the truth. It doesn't mean that spirit cannot penetrate. The fact that I even have to use the word penetrate here shows you that it needs to get through some obstacles. It doesn't mean it can't penetrate a hoarder's home, right? But trust me, it's easier to flow in on a zephyr in a home that's clear, as opposed to a home that's got everything all over the place, and everything is source energy. So technically, you get the point. But it does make it a little bit easier, if only for us, to feel the presence of something higher in our lives when we cleared a path for it. 7 minutes, 7 seconds. And notice that 7 minutes and 7 seconds fell on the words when we clear the path for us. So again, Spirit is talking about us deterring ourselves. Now, if you follow my Instagram, then you may have noticed that lately I've been kind of beating a dead horse, but the horse is still very much alive. It's only like the 6th day or 7th day of November. But that horse that I was beating with love is the idea that November is a month of mastery. And it is, because true mastery comes when you master the self. Now, when things are going great and oh my gosh, it's so generous and all of this and that, it's nice to be generous and share, and yeah, you're doing great, but I want to measure your generosity when you have nothing. I want to measure your patience when you have somewhere to be. That's when we could truly measure something, when there's something that is coming up to vie for your focus, right? So in the month of November, you will be having emotional triggers, temptations coming up, old habits, old flames, all sorts of stuff. They're saying blessings in disguise. Yeah, huh? So don't sleep on some of those things that you don't even want to take a double take at. You're like, oh, that's too plain. Oh, I'm not making enough money with that. Oh, whatever. That could be the interesting. Okay. They're saying that could be the devil in disguise coming to pay a visit. Now, okay, so that's adding an extra layer. So some of you, be careful with what you're considering blessings this month. Sometimes a blessing in disguise, we're like, oh my God, what a blessing in disguise. But sometimes it's like, is it? If you look closely. So they're asking us to really, really get to that level of discernment this month. And again, it's a level of mastery because you're going to be given things that seem familiar, right? That seem safe, that seem good. And some of those things really are, but some of those things aren't. And a lot of times we know what those things are, guys. It's us living in our shadows. It's us living for the day and all sorts of things. But if you are feeling so pulled towards someone or something, or so pulled away from someone or something, then that's usually a sign that this is a karmic hot button, or this is something to be mindful about. Because truly, when we have mastered a lesson, when something is not an issue, it's not an issue. Is anyone here still thinking about that person who broke their heart many, many years ago, like 5 significant others ago? No, you're not thinking about that person anymore, because you've gotten through it. And if they wanted to get back with you, then it's almost like you're like, I don't even think we'd fit anymore. That goes to show you that that lesson has been transcended. That energy, that connection is transcended. But if you're still thinking about someone or something and it charges you up to either like go towards it or go away from it, or you have strong emotional feelings towards it, then this is what we call unresolved. This is what we call a karmic issue, right? And so we know that with karmic issues, yes, we can go through the whole writing apology letters and deconstructing what happened and all that. And all of that is part of the process. But at the end of the day, it all ends with a decision within the self to move forward, to own your role in it, all sorts of stuff. So this month, if you're feeling the pains of existentialness, right, then feel happy about that in a sense, because it means that you're alive. But it also means at 11 minutes and 11 seconds that now you are seeing not only the light but the shadow. And when you feel the tension, it gives you a prime ability to see what's stronger, what's actually stronger here. And regardless of what is stronger, you still have willpower. You may not feel that you do, but you do. And so that's why they say November is the month of mastery, right? All right. Anyway, let's take a look at this guy here. This guy wants to come right here. So they're saying that, let's say you are, let's say, you know, the choice is presented like, oh boy, my boyfriend, my old boyfriend who looks like a young Jimmy Dean, you know, the cigarettes rolled up in his sleeves, he's back in town, you know, or whatever your temptation is. And this person is, or this thing, this job opportunity, this house, this whatever, is back in town, and it's trying to kind of pull you off your path. You're feeling this pull, you're struggling, the struggle is there. Boink, choice. Spirit's like, hey, we see you, but what do you want to do here? First of all, do you feel what we're seeing you feel? They just want you to build awareness that energy is there. And then now that you've built awareness, you're like, oh, I do have a problem. Well, okay, well, now what do I do about it? Well, they're like, that's what we were asking you. What do you want to do about it? You want to surrender and really take the steps in alignment with that? And yes, it'll be a little wobbly, but you're doing it. Or would you like to not do the work? You say you're going to do it, you say you're going to enroll here, but then you don't actually do anything about it. And that's going to be a point of honesty that you're going to have with yourself. You know, cognitive dissonance is a real thing. People will tell themselves, I'm working out. Wait, are you? Yeah, I'm taking yoga. Well, when did you actually hit the mat? It was last Tuesday. I haven't really, you got to stop telling people you're doing yoga then. It's one of those, right? If you do choose to go here, though, Spirit is saying, okay, so you are choosing, just to be transparent, you're choosing to take a break from doing the work, is what they're saying, because, you know, they don't mince words when they're ready. And in the month of November, it's not a word mincing kind of month. It's like, hey, we're trying to show you what you're doing. So if you're over here, we see you doing this, and we're telling you that we want you to be aware that you're actually taking time out from doing the work. But they're saying that not only will you just delay, but they're saying, but, you know, even though you are taking that time out, nothing is wasted. Number one, nothing is wasted. It's going to be more experience that's kind of still pushing you towards getting tired of holding on to whatever person, place, thing, or situation you're still holding on to, right? And so they're like, we're all here for it. It's just going to take you longer, right? They're also saying that at any point, let's say the next day you're like, oh, okay. No, let's say you're like, I think I'll hold on to this person a little longer. Let's just see where it goes. You know, Spirit's like, get rid of that person. You're like, oh, okay. Let's just see where it goes. Yeah, but let's say you decide that, but then the next morning you wake up, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? I'm back, God, I'm back. Then yeah, they're here. They're always here to have that release. They're not pushing anybody into doing anything. They're not bullying anybody into doing anything. All they're doing through me on this channel is saying, la, hello. This is what the energies are like. How do you feel about it? And where would you like to move forward? Nobody's strong arming you. The strong arming, quote unquote, comes from the tower moments in life. It comes from the things that push us into adversity. It comes from those things. Just think about this as an informative session, Spirit is saying. Now, I do have to tell you guys, and I know well, some of you will be like, oh yeah, you're right. And then some of you might be like, I don't know. I don't think so, Janelle. But listen, a lot of times we think our guides are the ones making us do things, or our guides are the ones having this belief and this and that. No. And then when I feel into your energy field, I'm like, no, that's your higher self. Oh, that's your higher self. No. The guides are like, dude, we work for you. We work for your higher self. We're here to help you. So a lot of times we think we're being pushed by our guides and all of that. It's not. It's us. Now, at some level, of course, our guides are us because we're all one. But look at the bottom of the deck. They're like, you ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? 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 Do this work? What's the next card? I'm curious. Ooh, the waterfall forces. Ha. So Spirit is saying, somebody here is asking about a relationship. Ah, makes sense. Look at the bottom here. There's an offer on the table for somebody here. Obviously, it's not all of you. Everyone's like, who, me? No. I'm gonna let you finish, but sorry. But anyway, on a serious note, this is an offer of alignment with someone or something, and you're gonna know who you are because this includes a trip. You may be actually relocating or moving somewhere. That's what relocating means, but sorry. You may actually be relocating somewhere. You may be actually doing something new that requires, I almost said inquires, that must be something for somebody, that requires a change of scenery or something like that. And it's funny because it almost feels like there are tears related to this. But I don't know whether the tears are going to be good or bad, but I'm positive and negative. There's no such thing as good or bad, but I am seeing a wedding ring here. So I have to be honest, this feels like if this is for you, I'm getting a little bit of, yeah, this is look at this guy getting on the train and the chessboard. This kind of gives me, yeah, I'm not sure I'd co-sign on this, but not, I mean, now we're getting into a personal reading for somebody here. And of course, it's a general reading. So if they're choosing to bring it into here, then there's some dynamics that are universal for everybody. But for a lot of you, but I'm definitely getting an energy of like a romantic thing, a proposition from afar. Thank you, Spirit. I'm also getting the word spam. So that's going to be for somebody in alignment with that. If you were to take up this mantle, if you were to go into union, or what are they saying? Companionship with somebody from afar here, I'm getting that it would lead to a little bit of the loss of self. You're going to lose yourself a little bit in that situation, is what is coming through. Now, some of you may be like, oh, I have nobody, but remember that commitment card is talking about alignment. So if it shows up in your job as an invitation to relocate for a job or something like that, stop and really think about that this week. If it comes through this week or whenever you're watching it, stop and think about it. Is this something that will allow me to be myself, to really express? Because I just see you going neutral, like you, all of your uniqueness just kind of like going out the window. Yeah, so they're saying just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. If you feel like you are compromising yourself a bit, they're saying it's good practice to come back to self. It's good practice to come back to self. I love that. Yeah, so you may have been invited somewhere, or you may, yeah, there's something going on there. Now, if it's just something that is temporary, then go do your thing, I guess. But for somebody here, I'm definitely seeing that if it's a big commitment that includes you moving for some new job or opportunity, or a relationship especially, then just be mindful. Yeah, Master Artisan, they're saying to be mindful. Yeah, there's a contract card again. Be mindful in what it is by looking at what it is that you're getting in return. What are you getting in return? And are you, thank you. They're like at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, am I being sold on conformity? Like, am I being given something, but in return, I'm basically signing myself up for conformity? If that's the case, womp womp. This card wants to come out, and I already know what it wants to say. It's about protecting yourself. Look at it. Initiation by fire. They're saying you can do, look, it actually kind of looks similar. They're like, you can do quite a few things to protect yourself. So if some of you are traveling or you're going to, yeah, if it's for you, then just be mindful about losing yourself. They're saying you don't have to sign on the dotted line. You don't have to do anything, they're saying. And call upon your angels to help you. So this is an interesting week for quite a few of you. Long story short, to sum up, choose the path of least resistance this week. The path of least resistance is going to be one where you agree to release that which no longer serves you, or who no longer serves you. It's about taking the baby steps in the right direction. And the right direction is going to be the direction that best allows you to be yourself. If you are compromising yourself in any way, or you're only going to lead to taking longer for yourself, and you're going to become less of your unique self, and that's kind of like a death of self, isn't it? Right? On earth, we literally come into personality. We create personalities for ourselves when we come down here so that we can get our job done. And one of the beautiful things about having an earth incarnation is the ability to really lean into that aspect that we've created for ourselves. Thanks, guides. They're so great. Right? So you don't do anything for anybody if you pretty much dim your light, if you change who you are to fit somebody else's mold. And especially if you are moving into a state, I'm getting a state, somebody's moving. If you're moving into a state where you're getting married to, please be mindful, because that sometimes marriage is like that. It's like a roller coaster. Once you get in and you strap in and it starts to move, you just have to allow things to play out the way they are. 22 minutes, 22 seconds. And that counts for relationships in general, romantic relationships in general. So just be mindful there for somebody. They're saying the 8th month was a bust. And I'm here to agree with that, okay? In whoever you guys are in general, this is general. The 8th month, August, sucked. I'm sorry, the worst month for me was October. I don't know about anybody else. Last month, yeah. So, but they're bringing up the 8th month for a reason, okay? Maybe the 8th month is here to remind you of how you didn't enjoy yourself. And maybe that's going to come into play this week, especially if somebody comes back around or an opportunity comes back around presenting a choice for you, okay? All right, my dears, I'm going to end this reading. But if you'd like to have a personal reading with me or have a live healing session via Zoom with me and a hot beverage, feel free to reach out. You know exactly where to find me. Okay? I do ask that you check my Etsy page. And if you do see some things that are interesting to you, please do read the description fully before you reach out with questions. Because, yeah, it's in there. All right? Mwah. Love you guys. Good luck this week. Bye.